All right, this is Rico with Non-Victim Nation Podcast. I am here interviewing Jim Cragg. He is the president of SO Tactical.
Yep, SOTECH.
And I was just curious, so what was kind of the impetus for the company? What was the idea?
Well, it's been about 27 years since that day, but I was a junior officer in the military and special operations, obviously, and we were issued a lot of standard issue gear from the Vietnam era, Korean War era designs, and it hadn't really improved much. And so there's a lot of space for innovation. So we innovated. I looked at outside the box ideas on how to carry, and basically took ideas from my friends, started sewing some product, and built from there. I probably well over 4,000 designs now.
Wow.
But we kind of built our reputation on design. We design and manufacture, but it's the personalized touch of going out to the unit, finding out what their exact needs are. There's a lot of companies approach it from a business standpoint where their corporate model is to go overseas. They'll take a design, maybe try to rip off one of my designs, and they'll take it to another country and they'll make 1,000 bags, and then they'll come back and then they'll have to try to sell that bag. And when the unit says, we need it to have a strap that does this because we're wearing it over SCBA or something, that guy can't do that.
Right.
And he's going to still try to push it. So you see the customers coming in, and you can tell what they've dealt with. They've been pushed onto, or they've been serviced. So we're here to provide that service.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to one of your other guys, and he was saying that they do a lot of those sort of things. If they find that there's a need that it needs to be altered or changed, it's that is something that they can do and accommodate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We just did a taser holster, which is our first major plastic product, but this is something we got into with LAPD, and we sat down, and this went from just a regular holster concept to, well, how would you like to see it? So something that was gapped out here so that it easy to identify. The weapon had lights on it. They didn't want to have the push buttons because the push buttons were banned because they had some lockage problems with other companies. The concept of the narrowness of it, so we put a spring in the bottom of it so that the weapon pushes down and rotates out. The concept of it not being like a lethal holster because you have the propensity for an accidental misidentification, which leads to a person getting shot when they meant to be tased. So this holster, you have to draw straight up instead of rotating down and out. So mentally, you get into not just, hey, how am I going to carry it, but you get into the operator's mindset. What's it going to be like in just a standard boring day of carriage?
Right.
And is it going to be comfortable? And then at that high intensity moment of combat, what are the stressors going to be on this person? So the identification, the ability to go strong side on a lethal, offhand to be able to draw this in and out, but to be able to draw it in and out the same way you draw a radio or something like that. So this is just a good example, I think, of all the interface with the customer. I just think a lot of people design gear because it looks cool this way, or this would be cool. It'd be cool to have this. I mean, you really have to sit down, analyze, ask the questions, and ask the uncomfortable questions. Because a lot of guys want to focus about that moment on the X, but it's like, hey man, you're going to be wearing this while you're doing gate guard duty for hours and hours and hours. Is this backpack going to cut into you? I know it looks cool that way, but will you always be wearing it?
Right.
You know, we did a project for aviation, and the guys running the program said, no, these guys are step by step by step. They're aviators. They will follow all the steps. The first thing I ran into a pilot, and he said, oh, hell no, I just take this, grab it, and go out in the cockpit and throw this down. Okay, well, that's not what your leadership thinks.
Right.
So it's understanding people, and you really got to get into that people side of this, because this is where the load interacts with the human body.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely want to be respectful of your time. I had a great time checking everything out, and I It was great to meet you. Oh, also, I did want to say what you did with protecting your home and helping other people in the Palisades. That was incredible.
It's my duty.
Yeah.
We would all do the exact same thing.
So
And I know we all care about our neighbors the same way. I just do
Right.
what I do. Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.